In today's video, we're going to discuss a stock that is about to go insane tomorrow and why all of you should keep it in your watch list. We're also going to discuss the inflation report because that's also coming up. And we're going to do an update on the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the Nasdaq futures, and so far it's turning bullish. Things are turning bullish. It looks like the games finally ended. We've been trading at 20,000 for like 2 weeks now, and it's starting to get off of it. There is a structure on there. It's looking a bit sloppy on the Nasdaq. But something that I really liked was on the SPY. So we gotta look at the SPY ETF. Okay, we're gonna move on here. Now with the SPY ETF, it's a bit difficult to spot structures, especially when a market is chopping for weeks and weeks. But when we look at the 1 hour, we can see what happened here. We had an ascending triangle that finally broke out this morning at like 9 a.m. and it broke out and it just kept running and closed at the near the highs. All right, and typically with this, y'all can see the y'all see the first thing that comes to my mind. That's the target. Watch the SPY for a move up to 582. With this structure, I can't be bearish on the CPI report. And let's check that out real quick since we're talking about the CPI report. So this is it right here. This is the inflation trend. This is how we've been going. So far, so good. We've been slowly falling 3.3%, 2.9 in July, and in August, 2.5. Now, the consensus, or I would say the expectation, is 2.3, a 0.2% reduction in the inflation report. And the forecast is also saying that it might be 2.3. Now, if it comes out at like 2.2, or even 2.1, the market is gonna jump at like 7:30 a.m. Central Time. All right, we might just see a giant gap up in a lot of stocks tomorrow if we see the CPI report being cooler than expected. If it ends up being 2.3, we might not see a big change or a big jump. We might just see this thing open up at the same price at 577. Maybe stall for like 15 minutes before running all the way up to 582 for the SPY. And if you look at QQQ, this is the sloppy structure that I was talking about. I had it drawn. It looked a bit sus to me. I didn't know if I should trust it. And then I saw SPY this morning and I'm like, okay, this thing is actually wants to go. So with these alerts up here, it makes sense. It actually makes sense that this thing might get to 500. And also there's a gap up here. If you look at all the way to the left, there's a gap that needs to be filled. There's two gaps, one here and one here. And right now, what the situation is showing us is that the gap at the top might actually get filled first. And then maybe weeks or months ahead, we might deal with that gap at the bottom. All right. I thought it would actually fall last week and take care of that. This is what I was saying. Like that gotta get taken care of. The quicker it gets taken care of, the less uncertainty we have about how bullish we're going to be. All right, but it's still there. So just keep that in mind. Right now, the trend is bullish, so we're just gonna follow that trend up. Once this thing gets filled, there might be a little bit of turbulence. All right, but when is the bottom gap gonna get filled? I don't know. But what I do know, I will follow up with another video and let y'all know. All right, now let's look at the stock that is about to go insane tomorrow. That stock is LRCX. All right, now I want to share LRCX with y'all because of one thing and one thing only. Well, maybe two. First and foremost, massive drop from 110 all the way down to 70. This is what, 40% drop? Yeah, 36% drop. Okay, so far it's been consolidating since this little spike right there. It's been consolidating sideways. It recently had a 10-1 split, which is nice. The contracts got cheaper on this one. And we're gonna look at the structure. This is the main reason why I want to share it in today's video. If we look at the 1 hour, yeah, if we look at the 1 hour chart and we just look right here, there's a bullish pennant that's quite clean, very clean actually, on the chart, and it broke out at like 10 a.m. right here. All right. With this thing, what it's not supposed to do, let me just say that right now, what it's not supposed to do is to fall underneath 82. If it falls underneath 82, then the play is dead. Then this thing actually turned out to be fake. All right. But if we see that positive reaction from the CPI report, neutral to positive, and this thing just opens up around $83, then I expect to run all the way up to 90 sooner rather than later. And if we zoom out on a 4 hour, 90 is where there are some people who chased the stock along up here and it got demolished. They are hoping and praying for LRCX to get back up here to give them a second chance to either break even or take a small loss. It's a similar play, but on a little bit of a bigger scale than coin that I shared with you guys, I think on Monday. Yeah, it wasn't, no, Sunday. Sunday night I shared with you coin. Same structure, same setup, but this one's a little bit bigger. So watch LRCX for that move up here to 89 bucks. All right. Now, I did say this is about to go insane, but there's another stock, because there's a lot of setups right now in the market, which is nice. When there's a lot of setups, it's easy for me to make videos. There is CrowdStrike that I want to share with you guys. All right, now CrowdStrike, this is a cybersecurity company, and if you look at the daily chart, there is a massive gap up here at like 350. I don't know when that's going to get fully filled. I don't know when it's going to get to 350. All right, but for the short term, for tomorrow or even by Friday, there is this structure right there that I like on the 1 hour. It is only 1 hour. It is. All right, so the structure is right here. There is an ascending triangle that actually broke out yesterday at the, like, in the last hour, and then today had a massive push and then closed near that morning high. Therefore, watch this one for a long, all the way up to 308, maybe 310 tomorrow. All right, it should be a simple one. Again, once this thing breaks out, it's not supposed to get back in a triangle. It's not supposed to get back in here. All right, once this thing gets out. So I expect this thing to open around 300 and then immediately just run to 310. All right, now that is the other stuff that I want to share with y'all. Now let's do an update. Apple trapped. Let's go on the 2 minutes. So we got Apple. All right, and then we're gonna clean up the chart. Something that Apple did, I thought it was going to be a little bit bearish, and then it opened higher. So we had this level of support that got taken out, but it actually formed a bear trap given the fact that it didn't open at 221. It actually ended up opening at 223. All of these bears, their stop loss is literally right at 223.50. So those stop losses got triggered, and when they get triggered, it pushes the stock even higher. All right, so Apple is uptrending. I'm not bearish on it because of this trap, and these individuals are contributing to the push all the way up to the next level of resistance, which is right here at 234. If the SPY makes it up to 582, Apple's definitely going to 234. All right, so I'm not bearish on Apple. That's the update on this one. And the last stock that we gotta look at is Tesla once again. All right, now with Tesla's playing games. Despite the fact that the market ran today, Tesla didn't move at all. I mean, it kind of spiked this morning and then faded back down. Now, if I erase all of these lines, the situation is not looking too nice for the stock. If they announce horrible news, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing drop to 330. Now, keep in mind, this is like a similar scenario to Apple. Y'all notice how Apple floor got taken out and all of the bears piled up here, right? What the bears want is, obviously, they want bad news. They want terrible news regarding the robo-taxi thing, all right? They want terrible news and they want to cover their short position at 230 before the bounce. Now, if there is good news and if this thing doesn't even drop, right? And let's say we open up at 244, we are immediately going to squeeze these individuals out of their position. All right. So it really depends on how it opens. With a structure like that, it's not supposed to get back in a triangle. It's not supposed to get back above resistance. If it does, a squeeze is going to happen and it's going to run ferociously in the opposite direction. All right, so just keep your eyes out on that, on how it opens, because that's key. That's key. And the nice thing is, once that news gets put out, the contracts are going to drop, like all of them, the calls and the puts, because they're both inflated from this upcoming news. It's very irritating because I couldn't touch Tesla at all because the contracts were just overpriced. But tomorrow, the calls and the puts are going to drop, and the stock is going to make its decision. All right, so just keep your eyes out on that. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Central Time, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Gouin at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.